Hey guys, it's Super Airsoft back at again with another Airsoft video, and today we're going to be talking about this thing right here that is a 3D printer and whether or not you guys should purchase one yourself for the hobby of Airsoft. Before we get started with this video, remember to comment down below if you have any questions, like the video if you end up liking it, and subscribe if you want more content just like this. Links to random designs that I mentioned today are all going to be in the description below. That way proper people who created them and deserve credit get the credit they deserve. Now the first thing I really want to talk about is Airsoft as a hobby. This hobby at its core is meant for tinkerers, meant for those who like to play around with things, open things up, modify things, customize things, and really make the hobby and what you involve yourself with the hobby truly unique to you and to what you like. And one of the best tools to achieve that in pretty much any hobby that requires any sort of customization or tinkering is a 3D printer. Now, I'm not going to talk about other hobbies here because this is an Airsoft channel, so I'm going to stick to specific Airsoft related examples and use cases. Now, the things that you can do with this 3D printer, and this is a cheap 3D printer, is almost limitless. I have an Ender 3 V2. I bought this for about $100 at a Micro Center on sale. These things go for about $175 to $200. If you have a Micro Center nearby, they always have these sales going on for these Ender 3 V2s. Mine looks a little bit different because I have a bunch of mods that I did to it to make it more efficient and faster. I have the Noctua fan mod that makes things a lot more quieter, as well as the auto bed leveling mod that allows me to just kind of turn it on and it'll find the level itself and start printing without any issues. I've also replaced the Bowden tube on this one as well to be more heat resistant. Now those mods are relatively expensive. You don't even need those mods because out the box, the Ender 3 V2 really prints like a... I'll also drop some filament recommendations in the description below if you wanted to purchase from Amazon. I have my favorite brand always on the printer. Now, assuming that you didn't do any of the modifications and you didn't even get that sale discount, let's say the price is around $175 for this entry-level 3D printer, and we're going to be looking at the price to value comparison here too as well. Over the past year of owning this 3D printer, as well as being in this Airsoft hobby on and off, I have printed out other people's creations. I've created my own creations just day in and day out. Look at this foregrip that I 3D printed. You can otherwise pay like $25 to buy this foregrip, or you can 3D print it and basically have it within a couple of hours. These are grips that otherwise you can go out and buy and spend money on, or just download a 3D print file and print from the comfort of your own house. You can print thread adapters, mag adapters, you can print outer barrels, outer barrel extensions. Here I also have an example of a helpful tool that helps me reload my pistol magazines a lot easier. This is a shotgun shell holder that attaches to the side of my M870 if I wanted to. M-Lock, key mod, and Picatinny rail adapters are also super prevalent, and this right here is a 1-for-1 design of the MP7's bottom rail that you can attach to it if you had an MP7 GBB. One of my favorite use cases is thread adapters. Certain guns have a certain tolerance, such as an 11mm thread adapter, a -14mm thread adapter, or a 25mm thread adapter. Trying to go out and actually buy the thing and finding it in the first place and seeing if it actually fits in at all, kind of a hassle. Chances are someone's already made a thread adapter for that specific gun. The world of 3D printing and just the database at Thingiverse itself is huge. Like I said before, you can find something as simple as a magazine catch actually for your Airsoft gun to a full entire kit. I've even posted a video about the Mark 23 conversion where I printed out an entire carabine conversion kit or submachine gun conversion kit, whatever you want to call it, for a Mark 23 pistol. Another fun use case is creating suppressors. There are so many different suppressor designs that are meant strictly for Airsoft, by the way, that you can just print out, thread onto the end of your Airsoft gun and kind of just enjoy. I have here a suppressor that I recently 3D printed. I didn't like the way the plastic end looked, so I put this random 3M wrap that I had at the very end of it to give it a customized look, and boom, you have a customized 3D printed suppressor at the end of your gun. Recently, I have an example of one of my M-Lock rails that I purchased from a third-party vendor. The M-Lock rail's barrel nuts tolerance to my outer barrel was off by like 1/4 of an inch. Instead of going, oh my god, this isn't gonna work, I'm gonna have to return this, and kind of just giving up, I was able to grab my caliper, take a couple measurements, and jump on my computer, create a quick design, print it out, and boom. Within a matter of time, I figured out the tolerance, put the 3D printed customized part for that specific build into the gun itself, and we were good to go. That's just one of many use cases that I specifically ran into just over the past week. Like this grenade holder that I have on my chest plate, I designed that and 3D printed it with a specific mounting mechanism that allows me to hold the grenade and actually have a proper suction so it won't fall out when I run around. If I calculate the amount of money that I've spent on my printer with all the modifications and the spools of filament that I've used, trial and error, learning the process, I would still be saving money by buying a 3D printer and printing the things myself compared to the plastic that I would otherwise buy from Evike or a different supplier. Now, do I think 3D printers are a worthwhile investment for specifically the hobby of Airsoft? Yes. If you're a one to actually customize and tinker open things up, play it around, and actually personalize things and experiences to your own specific use case and specific needs, then yes, 1,000 times yes. Now, this printer you can use for pretty much anything and everything else. Like, this isn't just a 3D printer made for airsoft, right? Like, it's a 3D printer you can create for other hobbies. Like, I have a customized keyboard hobby, making parts for that. I used to fly FPV drones, so making parts for that. And you're not limited to just solid plastic. You can 3D print in much more malleable rubber. So if you need specific pieces or parts that requires more of a soft plastic, you can do that as well. If you require a lot more rigidity, you can do that as well. Really, the world is your oyster when it comes to 3D printing. And I don't think this is a purchase that you would ever really regret, because it's going to give you so much value over a certain amount of time. Even if you're new to airsoft, you'll find that you need certain pieces or components that you would have to go out and spend money on. You can just print it. Now, that's it for today's video. Comment down below if you have any questions, and like the video if you end up liking it, and subscribe if you want more content like this. Also, please comment down below if you have any content recommendations or specific things that you'd like to see. I consider myself an airsoft tech as well, so if you want more tech related videos, please let me know. Other than that, I'll see you in the next one.